sir. Sorry, I wanted to get a clean one real quick. Can you tell us a little bit about everything that happened in there today?
Well, it was the preliminary of the preliminary hearing. The evidence that the district attorney brought in was absolutely damning for David, and the pain that the family's going through is just unbelievable now. They're still grieving, and they're trying to maintain their privacy, but they were in court today because they wanted to show their support for the family as well as the district attorney's office and the LAPD investigators who've done a phenomenal job. But it was extremely painful for them to sit through and hear the testimony today regarding the condition of Celeste's body. And then when they saw the images, Mercedes just broke down and started crying, and she really never recovered for the rest of the day. And so it's every person's worst nightmare, but it seems to just get harder and harder for them.
I know you said a little bit about the evidence that was shown in there. I mean, for people that haven't looked, how gruesome is it?
Well, it's very gruesome. Her body was liquefied, and the district attorney's office had the police officer identify parts of her body that it just looked like mush. And Beth Silverman asked on one image what this was, and another image asked what it was, and the detective said, well, that's her head. And there's no way you would have guessed that you could identify it as a head. So it was horrible. It did not look like a person or a body at all. So,
Patrick, what is justice for your family? What constitutes justice in a case like this?
Well, that's a good question, and I think it's definitely life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. As you know, California has a moratorium on a death penalty right now, and so even though it's death penalty eligible, whether or not it will result in a death penalty remains to be seen. But I think
that indicated this morning, the district attorneys, that they haven't made a decision yet as to whether or not they're going to pursue the death penalty, even though executions have been halted here in California. But I'm curious, how do the victims' parents feel about the death penalty?
We have not discussed the death penalty.
You have not?
No.
Can you tell us a little bit about, I know David's music is still up. You were kind of physically upset about his music, his mom possibly hiring, you said, a lawyer for that?
Yeah, they're still pursuing his career. They're hiring a new entertainment lawyer for the specific reason of continuing his musical career. And how you do that behind bars, I don't know. But there's been millions of dollars that have flowed through this company, these companies that David owns. I don't know if he is right now, but apparently he's planning on pursuing his career in music. And he's got merchandising and his music, and he's got publishing. And when you hear how much money this young man made, it's unbelievable. And so based upon the amount of money he made, I personally found it deplorable when he transferred 2 homes out of his name. And the last witness on the stand, he was the one that advised the family to transfer the assets out of David's name to protect it from a civil lawsuit. And that, to me, really hits home, because that's like an unlawful transfer of assets.
And his mother was purportedly involved in that.
Yes.
He comforted one sobbing mother today. What is your message, Patrick, to Colleen?
Well, I understand her desire to protect her son, but at some point, you have to stop babying the adult man, and he needs to take accountability for his actions. And it seems to me right now all the family's doing is looking out for their best interests as well as the interests of David, so they can continue making millions and millions of dollars like they have in the last few years. So you guys, I'll be around tomorrow, so thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
I think you